Yeah, yeah. You tuned in to the official. It's that SilverKeys vibe, let it ride slow. For the late nights with the lights low. If you feeling the sound, hit the light. Subscribe, comment, share, do it right. Keep it locked for the soul.
The Vatican is hiding this from us. For centuries, the Vatican has been at the epicenter of religious authority, wealth, and mystery, but they are holding a secret far more extraordinary than we could even imagine. Deep beneath the Vatican, below even the archives, lies a secret stargate, a portal capable of transporting individuals across space and time. This stargate is guarded by the highest levels of the Catholic Church and is the key to humanity's connection with otherworldly beings. But where did the Vatican get hold of such technology? Early civilizations used to walk amongst gods, and as a byproduct, ended up possessing advanced technologies from these beings. The ancient Egyptians talk about devices capable of opening gateways to other realms, with access being restricted to the users who had genetically encoded a Jed Ankh. The Vatican have been collecting these technologies since time itself began, and many claim that they have also had a hand in many civilizations' demise. But here is where it gets even crazier. The Jesuits claim that their Stargate was a gift from these extraterrestrials, and claim they were selected to inherit, guide, and influence the course of human history. The Vatican also claims that they are protecting humanity from potentially destabilizing knowledge.
What's up, y'all? If you tapped in, I appreciate it. If you subscribed, I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I enjoy putting videos like this together because I just have an open mind and I'm curious and I like to learn. So, for this video right here, what y'all see? It look like a war to me. They shooting back and forth. You got weird objects flying around. I don't know if this footage is real or if it's AI, but let's just talk about the idea of us being born or sent to Earth, and it was like a ancient war that started before we even got here, and now we just here, unknowledgeable. They keeping stuff from us. They got all these texts in the Vatican, these books and stuff like that, and can't nobody go in there. How y'all feel about that? I would love to go. But just stay tapped in and you're going to see what I'm talking about.
My favorite object that's supposed to be down there is called the Chronovisor. And this is an object that lets you see through time. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
I don't think I have.
So chrono means time, visor means see. So this is an object that you can see through time. It was invented by, his name is Pellegrino Ernetti. Father Pellegrino Ernetti was a priest, but he was also a physicist, and he was like an expert at music. And he was working with, I think his supervisor was Father Gemelli. He's working at a university or something. And what they're doing is they're studying Gregorian chants and listening to records and cataloging things. And they're listening to one record, and Father Gemelli says, "I recognize that voice." And they play it back, and I'm like, "Well, who's that?" And he's like, "That's my father." I'm like, "Well, what is he saying?" He said, "Well, he's talking about leather and prices and..." Well, it turns out his father was like a shoemaker, like a cobbler. And he heard his father's voice selling somebody shoes. So they end up isolating these voices and come to the conclusion that all the objects around us are vibrating with an energy and picking up all the conversations. Everything we're saying is getting absorbed into everything around us.
So stop being messy, spreading negative energy.
And that if you can tune into the right frequency, you can hear that. And if you can really zero in on it, you can see what's going on.
Vatican audience hall is part of some reptilian conspiracy?
Oh, absolutely. Let me lay it out for you. The very design of that audience hall, it's not just a coincidence. It's right there in front of your eyes. The shape, the architecture, all of it. You think it's just a beautiful hall, right? It's a serpent's mouth.
Do y'all see that? Do y'all think it's a coincidence? Or did they build it like that on purpose?
And that's where it starts getting good. We're not talking about random symbolism here. We're talking about a deliberate design meant to reflect their true nature. The global elite manipulating the masses, speaking to us through that serpentine smile. They're not even hiding it. The truth is buried in the archives, right there in the Vatican. But who's looking? Certainly not the masses they've hypnotized.
But if it's that obvious, why aren't people questioning this?
Why indeed? You see, that's the brilliance of their design. Decades of narrative control have convinced people not to see what's right in front of their eyes. They've built this illusion so perfectly, so arrogantly, that even when you're staring at a literal reptilian structure, you just nod along, clap politely, and move on. And anyone who dares to challenge it, they're instantly silenced, discredited, brushed aside as lunatics. It's a system built to keep you right where they want you. But the red pill moment, it's right here. Once you see the serpent, you can't unsee it.
Are we brainwashed, y'all? Do they got us under an illusion? Like, what is going on?
That's the power they fear the most. So, why is the design a proof of control? Due to the fact that so few have noticed? That's just more proof of how deep this manipulation goes. It's time people wake up and see it for what it is.
For 45 years, there was a legal battle not to release the translations into the public.
Really?
And it was not until the early 1990s. I was a member of something called BAR, Biblical Archaeology Society. A lot of people, I don't talk about it a lot because it doesn't come up, but it's relevant here. Mm-hmm. Herschel Shanks was the man that headed up the Biblical Archaeology Society, Archaeological Society, and he pushed and legally pushed to have the translations released. The Vatican was pushing back, and there was a lot of political pushback, and he very courageously pushed to have these released. What could possibly be in the scrolls that are over 2,500 years old that would warrant holding them from the public for 45 years? And the answer was in that first scroll. So I'm going to say this, and it will be the context for everything we're going to talk about for the rest of this conversation. That scroll spells out very clearly. It's called the War Scroll, 19 columns. And it spells out very clearly that we continue today. We are living an ancient battle that began with the first of our kind, the first human that emerged onto this earth 200,000 years ago. 10,000 generations ago is when we appeared. When the first of our kind appeared, we were born into an ancient battle that
Y'all heard that?
Continues to this day. And
Y'all heard that?
The very language, this is the exact language, is a battle between what is called the sons of darkness and the sons of light. We are living right now the battle between the sons of darkness and the sons of light.
A lot of people don't even know this. They contact to speak to the Black Pope. Not a black man, but a Black Pope. He wears the black garment. He's called a super Jesuit with a sworn oath, a very special sworn oath that I've posted online many times. Maybe if we have time, another time we can read the entire oath that they have to read. It's pretty dark. It's a pretty dark oath, and it comes directly from their information. So it's not fabricated or somebody made it up online. And what's interesting is the governments of the world, the superpowers of the world, they contact and get approval for the war from the super Jesuit Black Pope. And think about that kind of power. Think about that level of power. People don't even know a Black Pope exists. They don't even know what a Black Pope is. But when you start looking it up and then research the oath that's taken, it is so dark, it'll make you feel sick on the inside. That's how dark it is. I mean, even the governments of the world contact the Vatican before they go to war. A lot of people don't even know this.
Did y'all know that?
Chronovisor is said to be a device that gives the user the ability to see through time.
I want y'all to look at that picture for a second. Do y'all think it's real? Because they saying this guy went back in time and witnessed the crucifixion of Christ and somehow got these pictures. Nevertheless, I don't think it's real, but let me know what y'all think. I could be wrong.
Though the existence of the Chronovisor has never been proven, a 2002 book by Vatican priest, Father Francois Brune, says otherwise. According to Brune, the Chronovisor was developed by Father Pellegrino Ernetti, a Benedictine monk. Ernetti allegedly kept the device secret until the early 1960s, when he confided in Brune and told him that 12 scientists, including famed physicist Enrico Fermi and former Nazi scientist Wernher von Braun, helped him to build it. Made of cathode rays, antennae, and metals that received sound and light signals on all wavelengths, the Chronovisor purportedly allowed the team of scientists to document events of the past, including the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. The machine, therefore, could validate the teachings of the Bible simply by providing a first-hand look into the past. Brune explains how he met Father Ernetti on a boat ride across Venice's Grand Canal in the early 1960s. Like Brune, Ernetti was well versed in the history of ancient languages, which made for natural conversation. But soon, Ernetti directed their chat towards science. Brune had been expounding on the many ways in which the Christian Bible could be interpreted when Ernetti suggested that he had access to the truth via a time-traveling device. Ernetti claimed that he and a group of renowned scientists came together in a mutual quest to uncover the past. One scientist was Fermi, who won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1938, and another was the ex-Nazi von Braun, whose work at NASA got America to the moon. According to Ernetti, the device had several antennae, 3 of which were made of mysterious metals that picked up sound and light waves across their entire respective spectrums. A direction finder on the device was allegedly tuned into the specific era one wanted to view, while a screen displayed it and a recording device captured the footage. The Chronovisor was thus more of a window into the past than a time machine. Ernetti said it worked like a television, catching echoes from days long gone that had been floating in space. And he claimed to have seen some astonishing things. Ernetti recounted how he witnessed Marcus Tullius Cicero's speech to the Roman Senate in 63 BC. His gestures, his intonation, Ernetti effused. How powerful they were. What flights of oratory. Ernetti made additional, increasingly bolder claims, such as having observed the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. From the founding of the Roman Empire to the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, Ernetti alleged that he and his team had taken a peek into some of the most important events in the Bible. Ernetti maintained until his death in 1994 that the machine had been hidden away by the Vatican in order to safeguard it from falling into the wrong hands. Interestingly, the Vatican decreed in 1988 that anyone using an instrument of such characteristics would be excommunicated. Shortly before he died, Ernetti wrote an open letter adamantly reiterating that the device was real. He claimed that Pope Pius XIV forbade us to disclose any details about this device because the machine was very dangerous. It can restrain the freedom of man. Some say that Father Pellegrino Ernetti confessed to having fabricated the whole story before his death on April 8, 1994.
But did he write another letter and say that? Because if you didn't write it, it didn't happen. But what y'all think? That machine seemed like it was really advanced. I don't know if it exists or not, but I also can't fathom that anybody would make up something like that. Because it's a lot of details, but let me know what y'all think. Let's tap back in.
But this remains hotly contested. With von Braun, Fermi, Ernetti, and Brune now dead, only the intriguing mystery remains.
Also, would y'all want to see Jesus get crucified like that if you had the chance? I wouldn't want to see it. I'm going to tell you right now, I watched The Passion of the Christ, and I think I cried the entire movie. Could barely watch the part where he was crucified. So, I wouldn't want to. But let me know what you.
What you know about like the Vatican? Because I seen something where they said the Vatican, our souls go to the sun, then the Vatican got them beat down.
And the Vatican comes under criticism because of the Vatican libraries. You know, they got 2 miles of library that nobody can go to. In the very first case of a crashed UFO, it happened in Vatican territory, and they contacted the Americans to bring the crash craft here to America. All of this can be fact-checked to everybody that's watching. Well, the Vatican came out and made a statement saying that God created more organisms than just us as human beings. And that doesn't mean that God is fake. Because all of the origin stories of supernatural experiences where human beings interface with creatures or beings more superior than us, it's all held in the Vatican Library.
How can someone that believes in Jesus also believe in aliens? Because wouldn't that kind of, I would say if you believe in aliens, wouldn't you be more inclined to believe in evolution?
To believe that the most complicated organism that was made by God as human beings is asinine. Look how foolish we are as humans.
Millions of
I just think that people should be allowed to think or believe whatever they want to and not have to be put in a certain box or category. You know, I have an open mind about a lot of things, and that's just what it is. So just let people be, man.
you have asked what the Vatican is really hiding beneath Rome. So I've put the entire truth into one YouTube documentary, and you need to see it. They found a body sealed in an iron coffin, a chamber erased from every archive, and a creature the church has denied for centuries. If you want the real investigation, the evidence, the origins, the full breakdown, watch the full video on Twisted End's YouTube channel, available now.
Shout out to Twisted Ends. I only put that clip in there in case somebody wanted to check out the video. So if you want to check it out, feel free to check it out. The Jesuit oath that Billy Carson was talking about is going to go kind of fast. But if you want to read it in full detail and be prepared, I'll send you a link. Just let me know. Y'all, it's really dark. Like torture of death by burning, hanging, strangling, butcher, impaling, flame.
Let me tell you something. Rome has been ruling Europe for almost 2,300 years. The Vatican has been ruling Europe for at least 1,600 years. All of the royalty and celebrities and royalty of Europe are royalty. They rule by divine right. Well, where do you get the divine right from? You get it from the Holy Father. God didn't give you any divine right. Nobody's talked to God lately. You don't need to talk to God. The Vatican will decide if you are one of their boys. And if you're one of their boys, the Pope will then bless you with the, like they did Michael Corleone and the Godfather 3 and with the sword and all that kind of thing. And now you are divinely appointed. By who? By the Pope. The people at the Vatican. And the Vatican represents a very powerful secret society that's been in operation in the Roman Empire long before the Vatican ever existed. It's referred to as a Sun Order. S-U-N, the Sun Order.
Going back to Egypt. Though,
It's going back to Egypt, absolutely.
Right.
And so the sun was always represented as an eagle. The eagle always represents the sun.
The Horus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The hawk or the eagle.
Yeah.
Now, eagles only have two wings, left wing and right wing. That's why you always have a division between the left wing and right wing in politics and religion, because you need 2 feet.
Yeah.
You need to walk through this world on
Left wing, right wing, Democrats and Republicans. I'm never gonna understand that because I mean, hey, we all on the same bird.
2 feet.
The Chronovisor, a secret device, claims to be able to view past events anywhere and anytime in history by recreating the past through vibrations left in space and time, tuning into these frequencies of the past and deconstructing them into sound and images. This video claims to be from a Chronovisor, showing some past events of an ancient war. What are your thoughts on this? Share them with us in the comments. TikTok. This video was made for educational purposes only. Don't forget to like and follow us for more.
A lot of people do not know the Vatican made a contract with the King of England back in the Middle Ages, where the Pope said that he declared himself the vicar of Christ. The word vicar in Latin simply means someone who stands in for someone else. Today, we know the Pope is the vicar of Christ. What does that mean? According to the Vatican concept that God created the whole heavens and he created the earth, he gave the earth to Jesus, his son. But since Jesus is not here right now, somebody has to run the earth. So consequently, the Pope is going to stand in for him till he gets here, right? So he's the vicar of Christ. However, the Pope is very busy and he doesn't have time. So he made a contract between the King of England and the papacy in which the Pope set up the whole world in a trust and gave it to the King of England to rule the world. And at that time, the people who were called English became known as British. British comes from a Hebrew word, berith. In Hebrew, the word berith is a contract or a covenant. And ish in Hebrew means man or men. Therefore, berith-ish, contract man. This is why in the Western world, anything you're going to do in business requires a contract. That's the way the Vatican set it up. All international banking is based on contract. Consequently, all international banking law is based on Vatican canon law. Now, how many people know that?
I didn't know, but now I do. What y'all think about that? This is different.
You ever notice something strange? Every time people talk about evil groups, they name everything except the one sitting in plain sight. The Vatican. Yeah, that quiet little city-state that somehow controls more power than entire countries. Let's start with the Knights of Malta, because most people hear that name and think it's some old religious club. It wasn't. It was a quiet power network, a kind of ancient intelligence circle dressed in holy robes. And here's the part people miss. Several of the men who built the CIA were tied to this same order. That's not faith. That's a recruitment pipeline, a hidden fraternity shaping governments behind the curtain while everyone else thinks it's just church history. And when you start digging into banking, it gets even darker. Bank of America, Union Bank, old money families running the financial system, all wrapped in Catholic masonry. People think banks move money. No, they move power. But here's the part nobody likes to say out loud. Europe didn't crown kings because of God. Kings ruled by divine right. But who handed out that right? The Pope. Not heaven, not angels. One man, one office, one system that picked families to rule France, rule Britain, rule Germany. Not because they were holy, but because they were useful. Call it what it is, global management dressed up as faith. The Vatican wasn't blessing kings. The Vatican was choosing them. If you control the bank, the crown, the land, and the belief system, who really runs the world? Not the kings, not the bankers, the one who told them they were allowed to rule. That's the real power.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Footage recorded inside restricted Vatican corridors.
These were never meant for public viewing.
Icons predating modern classification.
Certain agencies insist this iconography remain concealed. In opposing that position, I have been warned that I may be framed as acting against the iconography we are examining reflects an older European reality, one shaped by Moorish presence and early state power. These images are not symbolic outliers. They were preserved, long predating modern classification. They reflect continuity, cultural and historical.
Listen, in those 5 miles of underground Vatican archives.
Right. That's a lot.
There's been a few people that have come out talking who have had access to these Vatican archives. They can't say specifically everything they saw, but one guy did come on a documentary on History Channel years ago and talked about the fact that they had bones of beings that weren't human. From their perspective, they weren't human bodies. They had books and text down there that nobody's ever been able to read or access that talk about technology, flying devices, and all these other incredible things that were hidden during the Inquisitions, because during the Inquisitions, they were suppressing technology heavy because they wanted to keep their boot on the necks of the people. The Inquisitions were so brutal, they killed over 80 million people over the course of 700 years, ordered underneath the popes. That really held us back because we should have been on the moon in the 1800s if it wasn't for the Inquisitions. That alone held us back from technological advancement. You see, the Vatican is its own private kingdom. They create their own rules and regulations, and they can change a law or a rule tomorrow or in 5 minutes, and then everyone will have to abide by that. In the archives at the Vatican, first of all, it's about 5 miles of archives underground. Very, very secure access. In other words, you can't just go, I'm going to go check out the archives underground. No, you have to be almost top secret cleared based on their standards to get down there. But they have in there so many incredible discoveries, so much knowledge and wisdom that have been stolen, literally stolen from all around the world. According to even some Jesuits, are bones of actual quote-unquote alien beings, information about advanced beings that visited this planet, the Anunnaki. They have information even out of Iraq that shows and proves that advanced races had lived on this planet long before this current civilization here exists. I'm talking about eons and eons ago, super highly advanced, that existed. All that information is stored underneath the Vatican archives, and they siphon it away, and they're hoarding all of that wisdom and knowledge so that they can keep control and power and domination over the world. And guess what? It's working.
He holds the title for the first Jesuit leader to be born in Latin America. The Black Pope rules over Jesuits, and he has complete control over the order's finances, strategy, and diplomacy. In addition, the Black Pope oversees all Jesuit activities worldwide and reports directly to the Pope. The Jesuits are a controversial religious order, and the Black Pope is their most powerful and influential leader, automatically making him a highly controversial figure. He's believed to be the mastermind behind many of the Church's political machinations. As a result, various governments have banned the Jesuits throughout history, and their activities are often shrouded in secrecy. Despite his power and influence, the Black Pope is not well known to the general public.
The term church is a Vatican term. It comes from the name of the Greek goddess Circe, the mother goddess that absorbs all earthly energy. And so the term Circe is a Vatican term meaning church. So Christ did not say, upon this rock,
I will build a church.
I will build my church, or the mother goddess Circe. He said, upon this rock, I will build my body. and the gates or the lines of hell shall not prevail against it. The world has been cursing themselves with this term church, which is named after the first goddess in Greek mythology.
I had no idea, y'all. All my churchgoers, what y'all think about that? Let me know, because I want to talk about it with y'all. Wow. Let's tap back in, though.
Mother Circe, which also is a transliteration into the Latin and French term Kirke, K-I-R-K apostrophe E, which means mother goddess that absorbs energy.
Did the Vatican build a machine that can see through time? In the 1960s, Father Pellegrino Ernetti claimed he helped create the Chronovisor, a device that could view past events. He said it used residual energy to reconstruct sound and images from history. Ernetti even claimed to witness a lost Roman play. But the Vatican allegedly shut it down, calling it too dangerous. Some believe it still exists hidden or in secret use by intelligence agencies.
Well, y'all, we made it to the end. And if you watched the whole thing, I definitely appreciate you. Any new subscribers, I appreciate you. Keep tapping back in. We're going to have more content to talk about like this, but y'all, this is wild. I ain't here to make you believe anything. So don't. Do your own research, as I always tell you. But I appreciate you. I hope everybody is well. And I'll see y'all on the next video.